9618.
Welcome back here to What's Cooking Today, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, and entertainment show. I'm Michael Horn, along with Eric Hines.
And Michael, coming to us all the way from Pine Ridge Vineyards, we're going to speak with the general manager and winemaker, Mr. Michael Beaulac. Hey, Michael, welcome to the show.
Hello there. How are you guys today?
Hey, Michael, we're great. Thanks for being with us.
Of course.
You know, you make so many great wines and stuff. Do you do any Rieslings at all?
No, I don't. I really focus
French.
on Cabernet.
Bordeaux. Yeah, Cabernet. And the reason I bring that up is just before the break we talked about a tip. When you have something very hot, when you eat something like a jalapeno pepper and your mouth explodes and you're going, you're drinking water. And I've always heard, like, if you go to, spicy food restaurants and you get something there, Mexican restaurants where it might be your Thai food or whatever, and you want to know what wine to pair, get a Riesling because of the sweetness or the sugar. Oh. Here's the tip. When you eat something really hot, grab a spoon of sugar and stick it in your mouth. It'll get rid of the heat.
Like Mary Poppins said.
Spoonful of sugar will help the heat right down.
I do make a Chenin Blanc Viognier.
There you go.
Kind of a unique blend. You know, we're one of the few people doing it. We've been making that wine for over 20 years at this point, and it's 20% Chenin Blanc and 80% Chenin Blanc and 20% Viognier, and there's a little bit of residual sugar. So spicy Thai food, that type of stuff, it's a great pairing, but it goes with seafood and oysters and things like that too.
Michael Beaulac is with us here, general manager, winemaker of Pine Ridge Vineyards. So, Michael, kind of give us the Pine Ridge story. How did everything start with Pine Ridge Vineyards?
Well, we've been around for over 35 years. We're, of course, in the Napa Valley, located in the Stag's Leap District. We've got about 160 acres of land. We grow grapes in 5 different AVAs, Howell Mountain, Rutherford, Oakville, Caneros, and then, of course, Stag's Leap District, where the winery is located. Wow. And while I make the Chenin Blanc that I mentioned, we're really about Cabernet and making world-class cabs.
And but you, as you're the here as the general manager and the winemaker, you've got a storied career. As I recall talking to you, you're an East Coast boy, weren't you? Born in the Vermont area?
I was born in Vermont, and I was running a jazz dinner club in Portland, Maine, when Tim Murphy of Murphy Good Winery came in to thank me for pouring his wine and jokingly offered me a job.
Jokingly? And you took him up on it, right?
I took it up on.
What was the job he offered? What did he say?
He was like, hey, this is great that you're pouring my wine. And I was like, oh, I love your wine. It's fantastic. He goes, well, why don't you come out and help us make it?
Wow.
And so I got out of the restaurant business, and this is going to be my 30th harvest this year.
You were 8 years at Murphy Good, right? And you started some new programs there, Pinot Noir, Zinfandel, that kind of stuff for them, didn't you?
That's true. I got their Zin program going, which is, I'm not sure anymore, but I think it's one of their bigger programs now.
Yeah, their Zin is, Murphy Good's got a really good one there. That's good. And then of course, Murphy Good is on the Santa Rosa side of those Mayacamas Mountains that go between Napa and Sonoma County, Santa Rosa and all that. But then how do you get into Napa? Because now you start looking at those Bordeaux grapes and you start thinking, maybe I want to get in with Cabernet.
Yeah, it really was my desire always to make Cabernet. And if you're going to make Cabernet, you should be doing it in Napa Valley. So went over. I was at Markham Vineyards for a few years.
So what'd you do there at Markham?
I was the winemaker there also.
And then you went to our buddy St. Supri there. We love Emma Swain and the gang over there. You were in that position as the vice president and the winemaker there at St. Supri, am I right?
I was. I was there for 8 or 9 years. It was a great place, family owned. Fantastic, but then was offered the position here to be the GM and winemaker at Pine Ridge.
At Pine Ridge. And so you started there, what year at Pine Ridge?
Oh, gosh, that was 2009.
Wow.
At this point. Yeah, wow. I know.
So what's your philosophy of making wine so we can kind of get the Pine Ridge feel here before we get into the wines you do? What's the philosophy you have?
Well, I really want wines that are rich in texture. That's one of the things that I find the most interesting about wines is how it feels on your palate. Of course, you want great aromas and flavors, but it should be silky and smooth, and it doesn't matter, marrying up the tannins to the fruit and the flavors of the wine is what I like to focus on. So we make 6 different Cabernets here, plus some other cabs for our wine club.
Yeah, so, and we're talking here about Pine Ridge Vineyards, and Michael Beaulac is here, and we should talk a little bit. You mentioned those AVAs you're in, because you're in Napa Valley Appalachians. You mentioned Stag's Leap District, which has those nice, soft, pliable tannins that I love from Stag's Leap. You got Rutherford, you got the Oakville, the Carneros, Howell Mountain. What's the difference there between those? And you're not doing, I suppose, Cabernet from all those areas, but from at least 4 of those 5 I mentioned, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. We don't make a Cabernet from the Carneros, although we have started growing it down there, and it's giving us some really interesting wines. So
I'd be curious to see how that comes out.
You're welcome to come by anytime.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to go pretty deep down there soon and start replanting with more Cabernet.
Wow!
And it gives really dark colored wines, not big tannins, but dark colored wines that'll be great blending tools.
Okay.
So interesting down there. But yeah, we make a cab from Stag's Leap, which is my favorite AVA, and it does have that softer tannin. Again, great color, mocha espresso flavors coming from that. It's really the hallmark of what we're doing here at Pine Ridge.
The Stag's Leap District, that's where they won in '75, and the Judgment at Paris that they had there, that was the wine that came from the Stag's Leap area that won, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
So it's got those nice tannins, and the French sommeliers were confused by the whole thing, and they may still be, because it's fabulous wines. But if you like some real strong, structured Cabernet, I'm guessing if you go to Howell Mountain, you're going to get that from that area. Am I right?
Yeah, that's a tannin structure. That's really the biggest wine we make. We have 8.5 acres up at the very top. It's just shy of 2,000-foot elevation, which makes it a pretty interesting place to grow grapes. We don't have bud break up there yet. Where here at the winery, I've got Malbec that's out, 3 to 5 inches.
Wow. All right, so that's what I was going to ask you. So bud break is out there, but so far the weather is treating it okay. We're fine.
Oh, right? It's great. We may get a little bit of rain here in the next day, but the ground's nice and wet. It's going to be warm. We're going to have pretty good growth over the next few weeks, I'm sure. And right now, looking at harvest, maybe September 10th to the 15th starting.
So great Bordeaux varietals, great Cabernet. We're thinking Pine Ridge Vineyards. Where can we order wine on your website, and what is that website?
Of course you can. It's pineridgewines.com.
PineRidgeWines, WINES.com?
Yes.
If we put in Pine Ridge Vineyards, does it go there as well?
It does.
All right. Pine Ridge Wines, WINES, is there. PINE, like in a pine tree. Pine Ridge, RIDGE, WINES.com. Michael, don't be a stranger. Come in the studio soon. We want to do some tasting with you. Thanks so much for being with us.
Of course. Thank you very much.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your